we humans real quickly try to establish ourselves as the smartest in the universe. And there's might be some truth to that. We're doing some stuff that the other worlds don't have an interest in because they have a different existence. Now, for example, in nature, one of the prophets in the Bible says, "Seest thou the ant? Consider his ways and be wise." And he goes on to say he works during the summer and put up food for the winter and so on. And over time, people now are becoming to think that cats and dogs are smart and whatever and so on. They say, you see, there was a disaster coming and all the dogs were trembling and running and all this kind of stuff a couple of days before, and they were howling and going on. You see, these dogs have a next sense that we don't have. Perhaps they do. I recall this time, this guy dog was barking, and I was recycling. So I said, "Yo, man, your dog's stupid, man. I'm just here recycling. Why he's barking at me like this?" He said, "No, my dog is smarter than you." I'm sure with that. I said, "Okay, bro, you won, man." But he was prepared to. I heard one guy arguing that his cat is smarter than a lot of humans. And I don't know about that. I know that a human, don't mind how frail or how out of the mind or whatever, mongoloid, just name it. They could bring you a cup of water. They could lift you up and save you in case you fall down. They could bring you medication. They could do so many different things. Call 911 and so on. Even just call it a hang up. They're going to track it down and come and provide the rescue that you need. And so you hear them, especially in California here, that the salmon is spawned up in this river here. And it goes out to the sea and goes way out far, way out by Hawaii. And then when it's ready to lay its egg, it comes right back to that same place. And you say, you see, he came just where he was born to do the same trip like he and the others had experienced. Then also the show, you see the butterflies, they know when the winter's coming on, they normally come together, and then you see them going up and fly up and going, and then they're going in Mexico and the land in Southern California and so on. They go into winter in reasonable heat. They're talking about, oh, we saw another planet out there. It's like Earth. We were looking for one that has light and darkness, So they're saying that, oh boy, this one's just like Earth. And they're talking about evolution. Man was nothing. Man was a slime. Man was in the water. Man come out, go in the tree, fly, jump, this and that. And man he's getting bigger. And for evidence, there was a house they found through excavation in Europe. And the door was probably about 4 feet high. So they're suggesting that the humans who lived in there probably had to be less than that. Because, your door, you'll have a little space for your head in case you put on some shoes, you won't bust your head. So if it's 4 feet, maybe they were 3. I'm saying, yes, we know 6. And if we live long enough, we might reach 20. Well, the bad news is that we're just trying to reinvent. We're just trying to reinvent stuff. And humans were created as giants. It's not evolution happening, it's devolution. We are coming down because of our evil stuff. We want to, just deface the image of God. We just want to work with the devil. And the devil is going to lead you through a maze that you're going to be surprised. With the butterflies, they can't see that angels normally gather these butterflies up and take them to a spot and somehow create a draft, and takes them up, and then a stream takes them over to Mexico or wherever. They don't know where they're going. But God is taking care of them. Same thing with the fish. And we have also so the question is, these planets are so far away, almost 500 light years away. How are we going to get out there? God had not made man to live anywhere else but Earth. And you see, the whole sweat is that individuals don't understand the purpose of man. Recently I heard some people saying that Earth is not the center of the universe. I guess they might say the sun is, because everything goes around the sun, at least the planets around here. But it's much bigger than that. It's not only in this in this part of the heavens. It's taking the whole universe, God's universe, into consideration. What had happened? The devil, the lead angel in heaven, he was archangel, voice melodious, could sing as a choir, bright light, creating music. He created the first anthem in heaven and so on. And then he started to think that, oh, he's so special and he wants to take the place of Christ, his creator now. Christ is the creator. He wants to take Christ's place. So he spread a piece of politics around. He said, you know what? Some angels are saying that I'm so pretty and so talented and have all this brightness. Look, Christ over there. They think that I should take his place. What do you think? Well, they said, let's think about this. But nobody wasn't saying that. He was just projecting his own thoughts on some unknown bunch of angels. And he went around to the different planets, plying the same trade. And they weren't sure. Okay? So eventually when he was cast out, God had to replace him, right? There were, eventually, a third of them left with him, but there were several leaving and going back. They were thrown out of heaven, they went back in to beg and cry and all this stuff. And apparently started with more than a third, but others realizing that, you know what, if we could repent and going through the same thing again, we better stay on this side of the equation. And so only a third determined that they're going to leave with him. And God wanted to replace those angels. That's why he made man a little lower than the angels, so that with passing the test, they would have just, flip over and become angels and replace him. And this is why he fought so vehemently and overthrew Adam and Eve. Now, he had gained experience after going to the other worlds and trying to sow seeds of discord up there. He discovered that the first couple were always together. And as women would only see a half of the discourse and the men the other half. When they're together, the whole discourse is gleaned. And so he said, you know what, if I could get Eve aside and I could give her a man's talk, she would understand that, and then she might make a decision that is going to do just what he needed. And so you watched her, she had nothing to do. All the work was man's work. She just had to rest and chill and just do what tender things and so on to keep her, affections and other things like the kids and becoming and so on. She had nothing to do. All the work was man. And now today, women are demanding that you stay at home and let me do the work. Women want to take on all the work. We can fight in the military. We can drive the big truck. We can drive the big heavy equipment. No. You're only hurting yourself. All right? And I make it straight though that there are some women who are so talented and gifted that they're doing a yeoman's work, and hadn't they been doing that, nobody would have done it, and I guess we would have suffered. So God's still using women to do great things, but maybe the majority of them should just go home and take care of the kids and the home and the family and so on. Yeah. And so this, after he was able to separate Eve and let her astray, this world became a sick place, because here's where the experiment called sin matured. And the whole universe was looking at Earth. This is why it's the center of the whole attraction. Because people say, well, why didn't he kill Satan straight up and kill Adam and Eve and just start a new race and everything would have been good? But what the devil had done in going through to these other worlds and telling them, but God and this is God is that, he was projecting himself on God. God is unforgiving, he's unjust, he's this and that. And so had God wiped him out, the third of angels and man also, then they would have said, you know what, they would have had a doubt. Oh, maybe he's right, that's why God killed him. God is definitely unjust. And so God didn't want that distrust. He wants people to, grow in his love and see that he really is what he's saying. Long-suffering, gentle, kind, loving, and the whole 9 yards. Patient and so on. And that's the whole deal why we became the spectacle of the universe, because they were looking down here and they can't understand what's going on, but they're watching and they know Jesus Christ, their creator. They trust him a little and so on, and it's growing and growing as the years rolled on. But when Satan started to deceive Eve and all these grotesque people start to be produced through union with animals and all these plants coming up with poison, thorns and all that, they're beginning to say, we're not sure yet. But when he crucified Christ on the cross, oh man, that's sealed. They say, oh, we now see who was the murderer. Satan is the murderer. And I don't understand how a God could die and how he could be born into a child and resembling her other siblings and so on, his other brothers, etc. But that's what I believe, man. And so he arose and everything is good. And so this is the whole purpose of the game. Now, so he created this place. He came in and he set up the environment first. Like any husband, you go out and get a home, put this in, fix that, and then you bring in the lady and you say everything is done. Let's go. Let's go, let's go. But humans now, they're trying to colonize Mars. Mars is too far or too close to the sun. Is it? Let me see. Let me use one. Next one. Say Jupiter. Jupiter is too far from the sun. It's going to be too cold. Mercury is too close to the sun. You can get burned up. Earth is at the right distance. And they're saying that there's a planet they discovered just now. It's just at the right distance, just like Earth from the sun that it orbits around or whatever. But it's 500 light years away. No, a light year. Let me look at a light second. What was it again? Oh boy. 860,000? 160,000 square miles per second. Something like that. It is 1 second, and you have a minute, a day, an hour, a week, a year, and all that. We're talking 500 of that. So how long in our terms that will take? Maybe a billion years? How you going to get there? How are you going to start? What kind of vehicle are you going to take? What are you going to take up there? How are you going to protect yourself from the rays of that sun? Because God did separate the waters. You had the water above and the water beneath, so that those harmful rays weren't coming into Earth. So it's not only that we have a bad gene, but the environment has changed. There's not big protection up there anymore. And the radiation seemed to doing rising and other things, causing degeneration. So make a long story short is this, that humans do not want to accept God what he says. Why try to reinvent the wheel? I mean, I'm pursuing some things that God hasn't said much on, or at least it's not crystallized as yet, and I'm trying to crystallize it. But when he said I created the world, why do I want to go on studying? Oh, maybe we should colonize Zepula over there. It got a moon and got stars and all this kind of stuff. And if they understand it clearly, in this part of our universe, there's only one sun. Because it seems to me all that we could see here were created in creation week. And there's only one sun he had, the only one moon. But they're saying, oh, there's another, Jupiter has its own moon and all this dumb stuff. There's one moon, there's one sun. And all that stuff you're seeing up there with things turning around and all that is a reflection of our sun, perhaps, that is creating that glow. We can't see the environment of the other worlds. No matter how long we take, 500 light years away, how are we going to get close to that? And I'm sure where heaven is way beyond that. And could God move his house? I don't know. But he doesn't have to do that. It's already too far for humans to reach. Okay? Just imagine a guy could just live, I don't know, we say everything is good, 100 years. And we talk about 1 billion years, man. So even before he gets a heart attack, he gets sick, he gets something going up the road, you got to come back to give him help. Why folks are taking all these impossible things? And it is God that is guiding these salmon back to where they ought to go. They don't have nothing recorded with GPS and all this kind of stuff. Butterflies don't have no great wisdom. And I guess they're taking how animals could know of danger. It's when Noah's flood was coming. Noah was preaching and the animals were coming in. It's not that the animals sensed anything. It's God is leading them. If we could only see, I don't know if animals could really see angels and so on, because we saw Balaam on the donkey, that the donkey was going aside, and then he's saying, beating him, and he said, what's up? Look, the donkey spoke to him and said, man, you beating me, look. And when his eyes were open, he saw an angel in the way that the donkey was moving aside from. And somehow God was able to get some of the clean ones, some of the unclean ones into the ark, and they were coming in pairs, and they were walking as if they were guided by something, but people are not seeing that guidance or the situation that could be what is behind the scenes. But they just think that, oh, these animals are so smart, look how they're behaving, maybe there's going to be an earthquake, maybe there's going to be a volcano, whatever. And if we were in tune and were receptive, I'm sure we would have had better perception in some of the things we go on fun, robbing the bank, driving fast in the highway, doing drugs. If we were in tune, we'll see that these things are just futile. And so don't waste your time in pursuing stuff that God has already said what the answer is. He created man. Why waste your life trying to come up with something else? Oh, this Big Bang, oh, this evolution. Just wasting time. He has created this world for us to live here, and because we weren't successful in plan, we go to heaven for 1,000 years. We're coming back right here to live. Okay, and You know, let us cut the chase. Don't let us try to go and make another wheel. Oh, you see this one here? It has 1,000 points, and they're so close that it's almost like a circle. It's not a circle, man. We have a wheel already. Don't let's waste time with that. Let us try something different. Let us try to take our lives and make it a symphony of peace and harmony and love and brotherhood and so on. Those are things that are within our reach and within our grasp, and perhaps with God's help we could accomplish things like that, as opposed to trying to prove that the Big Bang was real. I mean, you don't waste your time on dumb stuff, no.